afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to educate and enlighten you all about prejudice against black people within America today, and invite you to join our movement, #Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, BLM, is an international activist movement originating in the African American community that campaigns against violence and systematic racism towards black people. It is a political movement that focuses on the well-being of black individuals. Originating in 2013, numerous Black Lives Matter organizers such as Alicia Garza, Patrisse Cullors, and Opal Tometi designed and created this movement as a response to George Zimmerman's acquittal to Trayvon Martin's murder. The movement has grown to a global scale with an increasing network of over 40 chapters. All members are constantly intervening in crimes and violence against African Americans through the organization, development of local power in numerous communities, along with the unrecognized individuals supporting this cause. There are also numerous well-known influencers raising awareness throughout media, such as the Reach Higher initiative by Michelle Obama is an effort to inspire every African American to take charge of their future by completing their education past high school, whether at a professional training program, a community college, or at a 4-year college. In today's economy, a high school diploma just isn't enough. Students have to reach higher, which is why Michelle Obama is working to reach her goal that by 2020, America will once again have the highest portion of college graduates in the world. On an international level, Michelle hopes to educate the international society about issues we still face in education, rights for black individuals. Just because these young minds are not American does not mean that we can't forego their basic human rights to an education. It is our duty to provide an education and advocate on their behalf. Known for being an international activist movement, the BLM movement originated in African American community, which campaigns against violence and systematic racism towards black people. The phrase Black Lives Matter refers to a Twitter hashtag or slogan advocating for racial justice. It is decentralized, and leaders have emphasized the importance of local organizing over national leadership. The Black Lives Matter movement is a quintessential example of a movement that's found successful amplification through social media with the use of a hashtag nearly 30 million times on Twitter, an average of 17,003 times per day. This just goes to show that we are connected through our issues, and as a group, using social media, we can educate others of our issue, and with a click. The BLM movement began as a response to state-sanctioned violence. The intention of this movement was from the very beginning was to connect black people from all over the world who have shared the desire for justice to act together in their communities. The motivation for that commitment was, and still is, extensive and deliberate violence inflicted on African Americans by the state. In the years since, participants in the world have committed to struggling together and to imagining and creating a world that's free of racial discrimination, where every black person has the social, economic, and political power to thrive. The Black Lives Matter global network is as powerful as it is because of our membership, our partners, our supporters, our staff, and possibly you. The continued commitment of our liberation for all black people means that we as a community are continuing the work of our ancestors and fighting for our collective freedom. For the last few years, a large number of our participants have been out in the streets, engaging in powerful and necessary direct action and fighting for the lives of African Americans. The political period we are in now, entering, promises to require a redoubling of our efforts to organize against increasing oppression. We will need to match this with elevated and innovative ways to support this movement. We will need to raise a lofty-declared vision of our black freedom that is unprecedented in its scope. Activists committed to our liberation have stepped up and created spaces in our communities. However, your presence and work will continue to be essential to how we sustain ourselves and how we create new ways of being along the way. There are numerous ways you can assist in spreading awareness about the issue at hand. However, there are 3 main ways you'll be directly helping the Black Lives Matter movement. 1. Learn. Most people trying to spread awareness about the Black Lives Matter movement usually come to conversations with good intentions, however lack the information about the realities of racial inequality and prejudice. 2. Support. Protests need food, water. Movements cost money. Events need setup and takedown help. And meetings need physical spaces. After connecting with local leaders, offering assistance can be a great way to show solidarity. 3. Stay woke. The term stay woke is used on social media by people who continue pointing to the ever-growing list of victims to state violence and racial profiling or other racial injustices. That's all from me this evening. Thank you all for listening to my presentation on the Black Lives Matter movement and racial prejudice. I hope that you'll be inclined to support this issue and be the beacon for a better society.